These days, Windows 10 and 11 both have about 1.4 billion users. Data thieves salivate over the idea of these Windows users being so exposed. So, as you can imagine, they take advantage of various exploits to steal your traffic and connection data. But, like the ADT sign outside of a house, hackers don't want anything to do with a VPN. After all, a VPN, or virtual private network, is a tool that you can use to secure your connection and traffic logs. Any attempt to crack that data, like overcoming your security system, is just not worth the payout. Microsoft also isn't a company that prides itself on security. After all, it's got lots of incentive not to do that, like through its unique search engine, Bing. You know, the search engine that Microsoft made that is mostly used just to get the other search engine, Google. So, knowing that Windows won't support you in this matter, you'll need to support yourself by installing the best VPN for Windows. That's why in this video we'll be looking at the best virtual private networks that you can get for Windows. And we'll be comparing the following VPNs: NordVPN, Surfshark, ProtonVPN, Hotspot Shield, and IPVanish. Based on this criteria, our security section, which includes encryption tools, logging policy, location, history, which includes whether it's had any controversies or third-party audits. Usability factors like the speed, the number of servers, simultaneous connections, user interface, and torrenting or P2P policy. As well as more generally important items like pricing and optional features. Each section will order these VPNs from best to worst, with number 1 being the best and number 5 being the worst. We'll also include links in the description if you want any sweet discounts on any of these VPNs. I do recommend that. So let's get started with our number 1 priority, privacy. When judging a VPN based on privacy, it's important to look at the encryption tools, logging policy, location, and its history. Finding the most secure VPN for Windows is relatively simple by focusing on these 4 areas. So let's start with encryption. All 5 companies rely on the same style of encryption, AES-256. This is the gold standard for encryption, as militaries and other private organizations use it to keep things secure. There are also different encryption protocols. The 3 most trusted protocols are OpenVPN, IKE-v2, and WireGuard. All 3 companies support these protocols, with OpenVPN generally holding the most trust because of its status in the community. However, WireGuard is often preferred in cases where you need a faster protocol. All companies we list have this, with Hotspot Shield taking things further with a unique protocol, Hydra. And for some reason, that name just doesn't fill me with confidence.
Let's get back to headquarters.
Hail Hydra.
Hotspot Shield has tried to confirm the effectiveness of Hydra with a few audits, but not much information has been released about Hydra to date. So far, these VPNs are tied, but what does our next category, location, have to do with privacy? Well, it comes down to data monitoring alliances, known as the 5, 9, and 14 Eyes alliances. These alliances give themselves free rein to monitor anything coming in or out under the pretense of international security. You know what they say, Big Brother is always watching, so be careful what you do. From our list, there are only 2 countries outside of these alliances: NordVPN, which is located in Panama, and ProtonVPN, which is located in Switzerland. Both Hotspot Shield and IPVanish are based in the United States, meaning that they are part of a country heavily involved in these alliances. Surfshark is in the Netherlands and is part of the 14 Eyes Alliance. However, the Netherlands has stronger data laws from their connection to the EU's GDPR data protection law. To see this in practice, we must look at any controversial history, because while you can say anything, what you do in practice tells the tale.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Out of all the companies we've listed, there are only 2 with limited controversies: Surfshark and NordVPN. NordVPN did have a server breach in 2018, which it failed to disclose until after the issue. However, there is some solid speculation that the data center caused the problem, which is no longer in use. Surfshark, the other company on our list, literally has nothing. Diddly squat. That's incredibly rare in the industry. Regarding the other companies, well,
I don't get nervous, but I'm starting to get a bit shaky, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit weak.
Out of the group, Hotspot Shield is the least concerning, with accusations made against it by the Washington Center for Democracy and Technology, or CDT. There's no objective evidence of this, however. Proton VPN, which also owns Proton Mail, had to provide user data in response to a legally binding order from the Swiss government. However, this data was related to Proton Mail accounts and revealed none of the content of the emails, but still, the company handed it over. IPVanish had the most direct violation, as they handed over the details of one of their customers from a court order. These details revealed that the supposed no-logs policy was false, leading many to question their protection. Considering all of our security comparisons, the best VPNs for Windows regarding security are Surfshark and NordVPN, tied for first. Hotspot Shield in second place, Proton VPN in third, and IPVanish coming in last at fourth. The lack of data leaks or anything controversial is awesome, but Surfshark is in a country known for its connections to these security alliances. Knowing this, the two have some issues, but are both strong contenders regarding privacy. The remaining companies are a bit closer to these privacy issues, with either confirmed incidents or major accusations against them. But of course, security isn't the only thing to worry about. You need to be able to use your VPN. This brings us to our next point, usability. The first element of usability comes back to speed and how fast it is. The faster your VPN is, the less likely it is to interrupt your regular internet usage. Thankfully, all 5 VPNs use the fastest VPN protocol, WireGuard. However, NordVPN takes this further by modifying WireGuard under its unique Nord links protocol. And we all know how intense a links can be. The only other custom protocol that comes close is Hotspot Shield's Hydra protocol. As it turns out, when you use custom protocols, these companies tend to listen to their users, which makes them faster than the average VPN. To find out the remaining speed potential, we can also look at 2 different factors, the number of servers and what countries they are in. After all, more servers means less server load, and more countries means more speed potential for more people. In this case, NordVPN wins easily, with over 5,000 servers in over 60 countries. Surfshark has more countries at just over 100, but fewer servers at just over 3,000. For the remaining 3, IPVanish takes the bronze medal at around 2,000 servers in over 75 countries. Meanwhile, both Hotspot Shield and Proton VPN tie at around 1,800 servers. But Hotspot Shield has about 80 countries, while Proton VPN has 64. So the number of servers and countries is important, but for your use, you will only be concerned about a handful of these. Instead, you might be interested in the number of devices. The holy grail of this is unlimited devices. Both Surfshark and IPVanish share that grail. Kind of like the double Snuggie thing. For the remaining companies, both Proton and Hotspot Shield give you up to 10 devices, while NordVPN only allows 6, which is pretty weak. It's probably because they want your money. Now, for the user interface section, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So the interface you will prefer will depend on you. But sometimes bad interfaces can be a bit like a confusing vending machine. What we can say is this. The more complex interfaces are with IPVanish and NordVPN. Both will provide you with more data than you need, with Nord providing a full map. Proton also provides a full map, but does have a list of options for those who prefer it. The 2 simpler options come from Hotspot Shield and Surfshark, who have traded in the map for a simple interface. Now, I prefer Surfshark as I feel the map is a bit of a vanity feature, but you might prefer that vanity feature. You might also prefer the thicker data that comes with Nord or IPVanish. Speaking of data, what about torrents? These VPNs support torrenting, letting you stay secure as you download files via these sharing services. NordVPN is the only company out of this group with special torrenting servers. Regardless of your choice, unlimited data is available with all of these companies. Because of this, our usability ratings are as appears: NordVPN, Surfshark, IPVanish, Hotspot Shield, and Proton VPN. Now, none of these companies are necessarily bad regarding their speed, server count, or user interface, but NordVPN focuses on building the most comprehensive set of tools. The last areas we need to consider are pricing and optional features. For pricing, here are your best options in order: Surfshark, NordVPN, Hotspot Shield, IPVanish, then Proton VPN. Surfshark holds the #1 spot because it's the only discount that is $2 a month. While it requires you to pay for 2 years up front, it's well worth the cost when looking at others. IPVanish is the next best, with discounts at just below $4. Hotspot Shield takes the #3 spot because it does have a free plan. However, that free plan has major bandwidth limits of around 500 megabytes. The paid plans are also pretty expensive. IPVanish is comparable in cost to NordVPN, but more expensive by mere pennies. Proton offers the least cost-effective options with its lowest price at about $5 per month. But if you like money, then you might want to check out our video description for some meatier discounts. Of course, there are also some optional features. These features include ad blockers and antivirus software. So let's break down what these VPNs offer for optional stuff. And I like free extras. Okay, overall, NordVPN offers the best overall options for additional features. They provide a dark web monitor, a simple antivirus protection to find out if your data has been leaked, and a browser-based ad blocker and tracking blocker. Surfshark also offers these things, but Nord takes this further by offering a dedicated IP address, which keeps your IP consistent while it's hidden. It also provides a remote connection tool called MeshNet, which you can use for secure remote access. Proton VPN does offer an additional ad blocker, but its more robust systems are through other privacy products. These include Proton Mail, Proton Calendar, and Proton Drive, which are privacy-driven versions of Google's Mail, Calendar, and online cloud storage systems. The other VPNs offer more simple ad blocking tech, which is helpful but not as value driven. With this in mind, we can simplify the best VPNs for you right now. If your priority is saving money while maintaining security, Surfshark is your best decision. However, if you want all the features a VPN offers, including some of the most uncommon ones, NordVPN is easily the best VPN for Windows. At least, that's our 2 cents. But you let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd also appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to our channel. With your support, we can continue to make these videos, but we can't know how we are doing without your support. Also, these beans cost real money. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.